Welcome back to Consultant's Corner. My name is Rebecca Brizi. This is my corner. I am a consultant, and I'm here to tell you to never work for free. Why would you work for free, you ask? This comes up a lot when people are starting out with a new endeavor, especially when you're starting out as a freelancer. All sorts of reasons are piled on top of you as to why you should work for free. Experience, exposure, building a portfolio, doing somebody a favor. Don't you do this as a hobby? Come on, man, we're friends. But this is not your hobby. This is your career. This is your living, and you should never work for free. A very good friend of my parents that they've known since much longer than they've known me is an artist, a successful one at that, in Italy. When I was little, I remember once saying, do you think he'd ever paint me a picture? And my parents said, yes, for a few million lira, which at the time would have been a few $1,000s. The point was, they impressed upon me that I must never expect to get a painting for free just because we're family friends and he's known me my whole life. This was his job. This is how he gets paid. And I was to respect that work and not expect that it's just done for free for me just because we're friends. I've carried that lesson with me. I apply it very much in my life now as a freelancer. But as I say, there is a lot of pressure when you first start out to work for free so that you can build up your experience. And you might even be thinking, well, I'm brand new in this career. How do I get my first client if I don't have a portfolio, if I don't have built up that pedigree yet? Well, first of all, you're doing what you're doing because you've built up some sort of experience. So use that. Even if it was an experience as a freelancer, something has brought you to where you are, and that points to your worth and your abilities. But let's look at 3 very common scenarios as to why people try to justify that you should work for free. By the way, I'm not even going to address the whole, hey, we're friends, because that's not a very good friend. No, I'm actually going to start at the end. This will happen even once you do have experience, and people will ask for an exchange of services. Hey, you're a graphic designer, I'm a masseuse, why don't you design me a logo and I'll give you a massage? Now, I have nothing against the exchange. The exchange is fine. The important thing is to make sure that it is an exchange of equal value. What's happening when you're doing this barter or this exchange is you're saying, I have $500 and you have $500 and I'm giving you $500 and you're giving me $500. Ergo, we each just keep our $500 and eliminate the administration of the transaction in the middle. If you're doing a barter, make sure that it is for equal value of your time, of your work. It's not just, I do this and you do that, so let's swap. Look at the commercial value of the thing, make sure that it is equal. And so what you are in effect saying is not so much we'll exchange services, it is rather we are each paying each other for our services, but it comes out to the same amount. So let's just keep our money and skip that one step. Keeps life simple. That's an effective way to set up the exchange. That is not working for free. That is working for your value, and you both are working for your value. So you know that you're getting exactly the correct thing, the correct value out of that transaction and out of your efforts. Now, I start there because that sort of reasoning is what should carry you through any other circumstance in which you are asked to work for free. A common request is, do this for me for free and I'll give you the exposure. This is something that of course has blown up with this idea of social media influencers. Let me stay in your hotel and I'll share how wonderful it is to my 55,000 followers. On the more micro level, same reasoning. You're a graphic designer, I need a logo, but you're new in this job. If you give me a logo, I'll tell everybody how great you are. If your client is a masseuse, they're not in the business of telling everybody how great you are. Sure, as people walk into their salon, they may even go the extra step to say, do you like my logo? Let me tell you who designed it. But none of those people are walking into the massage parlor in order to find a graphic designer. Somebody might come up now and then who coincidentally is looking for a graphic designer, but that's a really long, circuitous, and uncertain route to business. If somebody's asking you to do something for free in exchange for exposure, that should be somebody who is in the business of exposure. But again, you don't work for free. You work for equal exchange. If they can put a quantitative value to the exposure that they can promise you, then fine. If you worked with, say, a social media agency, they would have to say, we're going to put you on these different platforms, optimize every single profile, post X number of times a day, interact with people X number of times a week, track impressions and clicks, create engaging landing pages, create engaging graphics. They would have to justify their efforts in so many different ways that you can point to and say, are you doing these things? Are you not? If somebody asks you to work in exchange for exposure, consider them your marketing agency. If they're talking about exposure on social media, treat them like a social media marketing agency. Let's stick with the logo example. The logo you're designing for them. What would you charge your ideal client for that? $500, $1,000? Are you just doing the design? Are you doing the brand strategy behind it? Determine that price and expect the same value back. If your client is not in the business of creating exposure for other businesses, then you're going to have to find a way to quantify the work that they're doing. And remember, it's not their business. So they're not actually doing that work. That is not their day job. So how do you quantify that? You could simply say, you know what, this is worth $500 to me, and for exposure, I will take that $500 and spend it on a social media agency or a plethora of other things you could do to enhance your own exposure. This whole work for me for free and I'll tell people how great you are, it's nebulous, it's not quantifiable, and it is not a business approach to gaining new clients. What it is somebody wanting your services for free. And a third reason is experience. You're new in this and you need to build a portfolio. So do this job for me and then voila, you have part of your portfolio. Well, if your work is good enough to be part of a portfolio, then it's good enough to be paid for. This is professional grade work. You should get remuneration for it. This client is not out of the goodness of their heart helping you build your portfolio. No, they just want a free logo. Now, I'm not saying that all of these potential clients asking for free work are bad people. They might just not be thinking the whole thing through. They probably don't realize that they're asking you to work for free. Maybe they've never been in the situation where somebody has asked them to work for free. But still, don't work for free. If somebody's doing this, it's because they're saying they're giving you experience. Then if this is professional experience, you should be paid for that experience. If the client thinks your work is good enough for them to use in their business, then it is good enough for them to pay for it. There are all sorts of problems with working for free. It's hard to break out of. Those clients are going to tell other people that you did it for free. They might even say, look, they did it for free as a favor to me, but maybe they're still looking for exposure or experience. And so it's worth a try. You're not building a solid base to your business, even if you are building a portfolio, but you're devaluing your work. I mean, you're basically agreeing with your clients that your work is not worth a financial exchange. That's not a good way to start your business. If you are brand new and you're not sure about what you should charge, start with a low price. Say this is my year one price. That client can come back to you over time and you can decide to either charge them the same price over that time or say, well, a couple years have gone by. My prices have changed. This is my new price. Setting a price is as much for your own solidity and psychology as it is for your business. Get used to charging from day one, especially when you're new in the freelance world. Frankly, it's not easy to ask for money. It makes most freelancers a little bit uncomfortable. How do you put this monetary value to your worth? How do you justify that? The longer you put it off, the more difficult it will be because you've now gotten in the habit of just working for free. You've started your own business, draw the line in the sand. From this day on, you are charged for your work because that's how we build a business. So I suppose your homework is, if you are working for free, look at all the circumstances that have brought you to work for free and see how you could change those, how you could not let them happen again. How can you turn that into a fair exchange of services or of exposure or experience in a way that is of equal value? So the other person is also recognizing that their commercial involvement here is of that same value, even if there's no cash exchange. If you are brand new to the freelance business, then make this decision from day one. You won't work for free. And for more tips on how to get started in the freelance business, check out my course, How to Be a Successful Freelance Consultant. Links, of course, in the description below. I'll see you, as always, at the next video. Bye now.